Hi everyone, my name is Christopher Shadow, also known as Veje, and I'm going to walk you through my Death Must Die run where I did it without taking a single point of damage. And so there's an achievement called Ghost Matter that you get when you do the achievement, and this is my run, my first run where I was able to achieve it. So I'm going to walk you through the idea of the run and through all of my decisions in between. So the start very slowly, and I'm getting my first god. And in practice, I just want one god, which is Mort, the god of death. So in this case, I don't really need any of this. I actually don't need protection in this run, and God of Lightning I don't need. And finally, oh, actually I have Chrome, and so I have God of War, like increases damage by 150% legendary. And so in practice, this is not the one I want, but it is like really good. So I'm going to wait for the next level up to have the god I want, hopefully. And if not, probably going to be a reset. But yeah, we'll see. So in practice, the way the run works is I only care about one thing, which is getting shrines. Because in this game, like, the shrines are so overpowered. And finally I got Mort, God of Death. And so I want lifelink, which is a dash. And so the way this works is I'm just going to dash and dash and dash. So I basically keep dash on the cooldown. And the goal is to have as many shrines as possible. And the reason for this is, in practice, staying around and collecting the XP is way less impactful than actually running around and getting to all of those shrines. So this melee boss here, like now, as you can see with the dash, is like pretty, doesn't have a lot of damage. And now I have everything I need for the run to be successful, and so now everything else is going to be like basically a bonus. And so I'm using the fire aspect to get some more AoE attack, because in practice this is what's going to like make sure I don't die. Oh, not dying, but I don't get hit. And the fire is not like the most important one. Like, actually crawl is better for this, but might as well. And so yeah, this one is actually a bit dangerous and you don't want to die, so I just like walk around. And Chrome is the one I care. And so what I really want is to be able to have the blade that goes around you, but I don't get it. I get the shuriken, which is going to be like very useful in the early game for the first big obstacle, which is the green blobs at minute 4. But oh, and now I got a second legendary of Chrome, which increased damages by 200% when the monster is at 50% life or less. So I have plus 150% damage overall, and then less on this. So it's actually a pretty good start of the build for an attack one. And you can see the defense, the armor I have, which makes me invincible. But in practice I never really use it because it goes away very quickly and I never know when. So this one, this magnet is actually very useful. When I kill a lot of mobs, now I'm getting some of the XP back. And so as you can see, this is going to be the game where like I dash on the cooldown, and where my eye is focused most of the time is at the top right, where I'm looking at all of those yellow dots, and I'm going to try to get them. So in this case, whenever I can improve my life link, my dash, I'm going to do. So I still need to be a bit careful here, where if I dash into one of those shields, now it can actually attack me. And oh, this one was actually very close. So now I'm getting, and this one actually like movement speed, and this whole run, as I mentioned, is about how many shrines can you actually get. So the more movement speed, the dash, the better. So this one, I thought that the achievement was actually not getting hit by a monster, but in practice, using this one where you lose health is actually giving you, uh, like actually preventing you from getting the achievements. So in this case, I stopped getting it. So now we are on minute 4, and so this is like the first big difficult parts, like not difficult but where you can get hit. So all of these waves of green monsters. And so in practice at this point I don't have enough DPS to kill all of them with my dash, and so I'm going to run around. So in this case, Goddess of Fire, I really want the spell damage, but like I could get a better, and so I use my only roll for this, and I'm lucky and I get plus 14% spell damage, which is great. And so as you can see here, I'm moving around, and this is like how I'm going to be playing very, very safe in this case. So yep, you can see I'm not dashing, and again, lifelink I can upgrade it, I upgrade it. And so now we have like around like I think 20 seconds left or 10 seconds left. So I am feeling pretty good. Like this run is not going to die early on this. And we are done with this wave, and now we are dashing away, getting more shrines. And this is going to be the name of the game for this episode. So yep, I'm dashing, and all of this, like for example, like this gives us like 2.5% spell damage, and this is going to accumulate over the run. So as like all of those 2.5 and 2.5 and 2.5 are going to start being very significant at the end. So now at this point, I'm upgrading my dash, which is my most important one, and you can see like the melee boss on the left, this one doesn't give you a level up, so I don't actually go and kill it. So this one is very useful to get more Master's offer, but I already got the 2 legendary, so I don't need it, so I'm getting the 20% more damage for monsters above 50%, so like all my first hits hit for more than 20%, which is really important. And you can see I'm getting all of the heals. I don't need them because I'm not getting hit, but I found that it's actually distracting me if I don't take everything. There's still thing on my top right. So Moira is really important because it gives like longer dashes. So I'm getting it. And again, everything I can do to improve my dash, I'm going to take. This is like going to have like the most impact on my run. Because yeah, this game is really weird. So this one, the warrior, I didn't actually know what it was. It's very rare, and so I spent time reading, and I'm getting more attack. So in practice, I don't need the attack because like most of my damage is coming from my dash. But the thing that's useful about the attack is I have a lot of things that also proc from my attack, so I want attack speeds, but the pure power of the attack is not very important or decisive in this game. So now you're going to see like how my DPS is pretty crazy. So 1 is dead and 2 is dead. Boop. That's all. That's it. So now Summer Goddess of Fire, I don't need anything from her, but it can be useful to have like more things. And in practice, I ended up taking 1 more. And so in this case, the very interesting thing is I found that like it's better to have a lot of things that we don't upgrade than to like upgrade 1 thing. So if there's a choice, I'm going to take a new skill most of the time instead of keeping up with of upgrading 1 that is not core. So if it's not lifelink, basically I'm not going to do it. So you can see that's the experience, and I don't do anything special with the experience. I just live my life as usual, and it's going to give some more experience, but it's not something I do. But in practice, the magnet is actually very useful to get a lot of things. By the way, if you know what this bird does, I actually have no idea. Sometimes it says your heart is scored or not, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So, anyway. So, yeah, Chrome, and so this is when I'm getting the chain around me. And so this is going to be very, very useful for two places where it's very likely to die, or like not to die, to get hit. This is the second blobs, the blue blobs, and also going to be at minute 19. There's going to be the skeleton, where it's also very easy to get hit. So at this point it's pretty chill. In this case I just need to make sure not to like dash directly into this. And here I'm still like chilling. The next big one is going to be at minute 12. So, yep, and so Spinner of Fate, Moai. So in this case I want the dash. If I can get the dash, I want the dash. The other thing that's like there's two other things that are useful for her. One is very, very useful, is like getting one more dash, which is the legendary. But in this case I don't I'm not going to get it in run, I'm going to spoil. But if you can get it, it's like actually very, very useful because you can get a lot more finds. And now, in this case, you can get more rolls or attack faster. Attack faster is good because it triggers more things, and in practice I don't need necessarily anything here, but I'm likely going to get the rolls if they present to me, and nothing else is better. So this one I need to be a bit careful with this wave, because those are like going pretty fast, and it's very easy to get stuck on something and get hit. So I'm more like, as you can see, I'm not dashing on cooldown here. I'm spending a bit more time. And in this case, I do take the attack. Actually, I don't take the attack. I'm getting the rotating ones. And what I do talk about the attack is I don't need the attack in this case because like they maybe like increase the damage by 20% or something for the attack, but this is not where my main source of DPS is. So at this point I'm done upgrading, and so now I'm going to start getting all of the different like boons from her. So I do take the red items, but I don't need it. Oh, and now we got Mayhem, which is really good. So it gives 0.1% more damage every time you kill somebody with a curse, and our dash is a curse, so we get like 0.1%. And so at this end of this run we get like plus 62% damage with this. So it's pretty significant, and we're getting it like halfway through the run, so it's really good. And now this one is pretty cool, like it adds sickles spawning when you hit an enemy. And one thing that's really good about like the game design of this is whenever you actually get like a new spell, they trigger the spell so you can actually see what it looks like. So it's very useful and really good game design when looking at this. So we keep on dashing and dashing. And yeah, there's nothing really like difficult here. The big one, as I mentioned, is going to be in 1 minute at minute 12. Is going to be the blue blobs, and this is like a very dangerous part because you can't outrun them. But in this case, we're like very well prepared for them with like our spinning blades. And now we're going to get some skeletons. Why not? So this is like the magnet is like actually here like really good. It gives us a lot of more XP. And you can see here we're level 19 with at minute 11. So we're actually doing pretty good on XP. And in 8 seconds is going to be the dreaded blue blobs. So now you're going to see me focus a lot more, and I'm going to stop dashing on cooldown. And so So and so in this case it went pretty smoothly. There has not been any time where like I felt like I was not under control, and I do have a lot of evasion, so like one is not going to kill me, but so in this case dash becomes longer. Yep, I want the dash. The dash is always going to be like very important here. And you can see like the rotating blade is really doing a lot for my safety. And we have like 3 more seconds, and now finally we can go back and dashing on cooldown. So after this there's still one part which is tricky, where like there's all of those things coming, all of those monsters are going to come. They are very fast, and there's even like one boss which goes very very fast, and you cannot actually like outdash it. This one, but in practice my DPS is so high in this run that it's not very threatening anything. So I consider rolling, but there's nothing else I really want more, so I'm just going to take what I have. And this is going to be again like pretty chill for a bit. And yeah, I'm taking the bonfire even if I don't need to. And the XP, and so now in this case I told you about the attack, and so my calculus for taking the attack here is Chrome's attack is actually doing some knockback, and I actually don't know if it's actually working, but my gut feeling is that if you do knockback, then the enemy doesn't hit you. So the Necromancer usually like circle around it, but as you can see my DPS is super high, so you still need to be a bit careful with all of the fireballs, but this was a pretty smooth fight. And in this case I don't need anything, so I need to upgrade. And there's right now is probably a good time to talk about like the different ways I've been like doing this run. And so this particular run is the one that I finally got the achievement, but I think I'm probably at 10 runs where I got hit once or twice. And the good thing is, in practice it's not super hard to like do a hitless run, and I've done it like with many different setups, and well, this is the first time actually doing it, but this one is like a very very offensive setup, but I also sometimes use Lady Justice with the shield. But what I found is that in practice, if you take Lady Justice with the shield, then you're going to have a lot less DPS. And what I found is in practice it's much safer to actually kill the enemies faster than they can hit you, compared to actually like starting and trying to avoid being hit. So this is the one that actually worked out, but if you feel less safe, like Lady Justice is also a way to actually get the achievements. And it's like a lot of them rely on like starting like to get as many shrines as possible with the dash. At least this has been the way, like has been the easiest to play for me. And in terms of characters, I actually like Nixie. Like the reason I'm using her is because I needed to get the achievements for getting the 4 dashes, and I got the achievement like I think 1 or 2 runs ago, and I felt like, oh, it's actually working pretty well, so I'm going to keep using her. But I'm pretty sure you can use any other characters. So I actually don't need damage on the enemy barrier, and so I end up using Chain of War, which is actually more useful for my safety. And yeah, this legendary, I don't know if it's actually doing anything for me, but it's legendary, so I might as well. And you can see that now like this magnet is actually very useful for my XP bar.
Careful.
So again, like this is none of them are really doing anything. This part, if you don't have a lot of damage, can be actually pretty challenging because all of those enemies are pretty bulky and can hit you like really quickly. So in this case, like I'm like so overpowered by this time that like I don't do anything. In this case, like there was one evade, which was a pretty close call, but nothing too dangerous. So I'm trying my luck, but yeah, at this point there's really nothing that I really want or needs, and we only have like 4 minutes left, so this is going to keep going that way. And this is now like starting to like become to the end game. So this one, actually I usually take the XP at the beginning, but the other one is better for the end game, the removing barrier. So as you can see, we've just killed the mini boss here, like the yellow one, and even in my casual playthrough, like the mini boss has like so few health, I don't know why it's here. And now you got to wait like for an entire minute with this, and none of the enemies are really frightening in any way. So I think this is like, I would say like the biggest part of the game where I feel like it's not super well balanced, where I feel like you should like increase the health of this like mini boss by a lot, and also like stopping the arena when the boss ends. But anyway, this is still an alpha, so we'll see if they do something about it or not. But overall the game has been pretty cool to play, and we're almost at the end, and see if I'm not even like collecting the, oh actually I'm collecting the purple one, but this is just to sell because at this point I'm only keeping the red one, and most of them are just like filling my stash and I don't even use them, so we'll see at this we'll see what happens. And here I'm checking the boots. There are some boots that give +1 dash that I don't have, and they would like actually make this run like a lot easier and faster. So we'll see if I end up getting them in the future. So we're heading towards the end, and as I mentioned, like I don't spend that much time on the spells. So this one part is dangerous. There's people shooting blue arrows, and I've died like once because of them. So yeah, those two ones, and so I evaded here, so I was lucky. But yeah, you can lose runs like this. And in 15 seconds we're going to get the last really difficult part, which is all of the skeletons and the one shooting arrows in at 19. And so you really want to kill those ones and to optimize for killing them. And they can be tricky to see as there's like all of the skeletons. So as you can see now, I'm starting to target the one at the top right of the screen, and here you want to like start looking out for them so you're not dying when you don't have to, or not dying but getting hit. And as you can see in this case, the blades are very useful, and might as well get some ravens just for the hell of it. And yep, here I'm evading the projectiles. I don't want to go and hunt it. And now we're getting 20 seconds, so we're going to get 1 or 2 shrines, and we're going to get the final boss. So in practice, the final boss can be a bit tricky, especially if you don't have a lot of DPS. But in my case, I'm like so overpowered that it's going to be very quick. So the one thing is I'm playing it very safe. So as you can see, like most of my damage is my dash, but I'm only dashing like when I really need to, to not actually die, to get always one. And this is it. This is my run. So my inventory, like nothing is too crazy. The biggest thing is my chest, which has like 150 evasion, and my head with 10%, 12% more master offers. So this is how I probably got the first two. And so this is it. So a few things that are interesting. So I'm running with 7 difficulty because there's 7 which are like increasing the attack damage of the monster, but I'm not getting hit, so it doesn't matter. And as you can see, my dash lifelink, the second one, is responsible for most of my DPS with 700k, and the next one is like 200k. So yep, this is it. Thank you so much for watching, and you can see the achievement at the bottom right of the screen. And yep, this is it. Thank you, and I hope this was useful for you. And I think this is the end of my playthrough of the game. I got all of the achievements, and yep, this was a fun game.